where we plunge into the most fascinating topics and, well, extract the essential nuggets of insight. Today, for everyone out there who loves a sci-fi film that really sticks with you, long after the credits roll, we're dissecting a true cult classic, Alex Proyas' 1998 mind-bending masterpiece, Dark City. So, get ready, because this deep dive is definitely a journey into one of the most thought-provoking cinematic experiences out there. We're going to unravel how the city itself isn't just a backdrop, but an experimental construct, one that profoundly challenges our very understanding of what's real. Then we'll explore memory. I mean, not just as the bedrock of who we are, but also as this chilling tool for control and kind of paradoxically for liberation. And finally, we'll grapple with the unsettling dance between destiny and free will. We'll ask that profound question of what happens when a liberator becomes, well, a new kind of creator. So, okay, if you haven't seen Dark City, here's the quick rundown. We meet John Murdoch. He wakes up in this strange hotel room, complete amnesia, finds himself wanted for a series of brutal murders he can't recall at all, as he's hunted by this relentless detective and a group of enigmatic, pale-skinned beings known as the Strangers. He slowly uncovers a terrifying truth. The entire city around him is being manipulated. Its physical structures reshaped nightly, people's lives, their memories, rewritten at whim. Murdoch's journey, it spirals from this bewildered ignorance to the startling realization that he might just be the one person capable of changing this bizarre reality. Okay, let's kick things off by really digging into the city itself. Because in Dark City, the environment is so much more than just a setting, isn't it? It feels like a character. It has its own unsettling presence. That anachronistic architecture, the perpetual night, those enormous looming clocks everywhere, it all creates this incredibly disquieting, almost visceral sense of unreality. It's oppressive, isn't it?
It absolutely is. Yeah, and what's truly fascinating here is that the city is precisely what you describe. It's an experimental artifice. It's effectively a controlled space habitat that the Strangers have constructed. And, unlike so many sci-fi stories that deal with reality being, say, a digital simulation or something equally abstract, Proyas grounds this manipulation in something incredibly tangible. You physically see buildings reconfiguring, entire streets changing shape when those sirens wail at night. It's visceral. This constant physical resculpting of the world makes the question, is this real? A sensory lived experience for the characters, not just some abstract philosophical thought experiment. It really forces you to confront the very nature of being what we call the ontological problem by showing that what we perceive as reality can be an external, deliberate, and entirely constructed system.
Right. And that construction isn't neutral, is it? It immediately throws up a huge moral conflict.
Yeah.
The very fabric of our world, the reality we inhabit, can be remade on a whim. Then who gets to decide what that new reality looks like? Who holds that power? And, well, what drives their choices?
Exactly. The film leaves you grappling with the immense responsibility of shaping a world, especially one that impacts countless lives. And this leads us directly to the profound role of memory in the film, which operates on multiple, deeply unsettling levels. First, just think about memory as the absolute foundation of human identity. Our sense of self, our personal history, our continuity as individuals, our capacity to make our own choices and act on our beliefs, what philosophers sometimes call moral agency. It's all woven from the tapestry of our recollections. So when the Strangers erase or rewrite these, they're not just deleting data, they're fundamentally invalidating a person's continuity and their very sense of self. Murdoch's initial amnesia is like the perfect metaphor for this dislodged, unmoored self. Without a past, the present lacks context, right?
Yeah.
And even simple decisions become decontextualized.
Yeah, and that's where it gets so compelling for me, how memory is used as an outright technology of experimentation. The Strangers aren't just erasing. They're meticulously imprinting pasts and roles onto people, giving them new identities, new relationships, new lives, and then they just sit back and observe the reactions. It's like a grand, horrifying laboratory experiment on human consciousness.
It is precisely that. I mean, the inhabitants wake up with completely reconfigured lives, sometimes finding their identities have crossed paths in the very hotel where the memory swapping occurs. The Strangers' ultimate goal, as we discover, is to isolate what makes humans unique, what allows individuality to persist within, a social mass. This process instrumentalizes the most intimate part of us, turning personal recollection into a laboratory variable. It's chilling. But then you have a pivotal figure like Dr. Daniel Schreiber, his compassionate betrayal of the Strangers' methods, injecting Murdoch not with new false memories, but with the technical knowledge of tuning reality and understanding the Strangers' methods. It completely transforms memory. It shifts from being merely a tool of control into a lever for conscious action and liberation. It's this knowledge, not a new identity, that enables Murdoch to truly break free. And there's this fascinating ambiguity in the film, too, regarding false memories. Consider the profound longing for Shell Beach that permeates the city, or the emotions tied to Murdoch's implanted memories with Emma. The film doesn't idealize memory as inherently true. It provocatively asks, can emotions tied to an implanted past be just as profoundly real? Just as effective in building human connection and driving desire as those based on a true past?
It certainly makes you question the very authenticity of our own experiences, doesn't it? Which brings us to Destiny and how Dark City brilliantly explores the idea of a deterministic system.
Right. The strangers, with their nightly manipulations, operate under a completely deterministic logic. It's fundamental to them. They genuinely believe that by controlling external variables like memories, social roles, the environment itself, they can predict and reproduce human behavior. From their perspective, humans are essentially programmed response machines, and therefore destiny is entirely programmable. Their constant rewritings aren't just random acts, they're tests in this grand controlled environment, all in their quest to understand the human soul, or lack thereof in their view.
But Murdoch, he's the wrench in their machine. He's the anomaly. His transformation from being a mere experimental object to becoming this powerful agent, that's the true heart of the film. His final, climactic act, reorienting the entire habitat towards the sun, literally creating a real shell beach. That's a monumental claim of freedom against that deterministic system. It's a literal rewriting of collective destiny for everyone in the city.
And this is where the film presents its most profound paradox, raising, I think, a really important question. Murdoch, the liberator, becomes a new demiurge. He's like a godlike creator shaping reality. His creation of a new world, a world now flooded with light and new possibilities, also implies imposing his own vision of what a good reality should be. So, is this true freedom for everyone in the city? Or is it simply a new form of determination, albeit one with a seemingly benevolent intent? The film brilliantly refuses to offer a simple answer. It just leaves you with that unsettling ambiguity about whether the act of emancipation necessarily justifies the imposition of a singular vision, even if it's a vision of paradise.
It's a heavy thought, yeah. And it's precisely why Dark City resonates so deeply with us sci-fi lovers. Beyond the plot, the film just has such a unique feel, doesn't it? That hybrid aesthetic of classic film noir drenched in high-concept sci-fi, the expressionistic sets, those deep shadows, the constant atmospheric rain, the anachronistic elements that make the city itself feel like this massive, timeless, living machine. It's visually stunning and completely engrossing.
Absolutely. And the film's science fiction isn't found in advanced technology or spaceships, like you said. It's in its moral inquiry. The design and atmosphere aren't just aesthetic choices. They are how the film performs its philosophical work. It's integrated. It deeply engages with philosophical traditions that are centuries old, reinterpreting them for a contemporary context. It's quite clever. You can see clear echoes of Plato's allegory of the cave, right? With its world of shadows confusing the prisoners for reality, there's a strong thread of Kafkaesque bureaucracy in the strangers' cold, impersonal methods, the way they meticulously manage and categorize human lives. And you can even find elements of Gnostic myths, where an imperfect, lesser creator, a demiurge, creates a flawed world that traps humanity. The film uses these rich historical sources to pose incredibly relevant questions about technology, science, and the very nature of subjectivity in our own lives without ever feeling, preachy or academic.
So what does this all mean for us, the viewers, living in a world increasingly shaped by algorithms and external influences? The film, for me, ultimately suggests that the human essence isn't just stored information or a set of predictable responses. It's our profound capacity for freedom, for making errors, and crucially for imagining what isn't yet given or what lies beyond our current reality. It challenges that very real scientific temptation to cure social problems by manipulating something as intimate and fundamental as memory itself. It whispers a powerful warning. While science seeks to understand and optimize, it must always grapple with ethics and the profound value of individual experience. So to recap, Dark City is a film that operates simultaneously as this thrilling noir mystery and a powerful philosophical speculation. Its real achievement isn't in solving its enigmas, but in forcing you, the viewer, to live the debate about reality, memory, and destiny. The ambiguity of Murdoch's final action, his liberation restoring light but from the hand of a new manipulator, is powerfully disconcerting and stays with you long after the credits roll.
Absolutely. And for you, the listener, maybe consider this provocative thought. If emancipation requires breaking visible chains, what responsibility does one then bear when creating a new world? Does the act of liberation truly justify the imposition of a singular vision on others, no matter how good the intention might seem?
We'd love to hear your thoughts on this deep dive. What stands out to you about Dark City and its exploration of these timeless and frankly pretty heavy themes?